Have you ever wondered why some people can eat anything and not gain a pound while others seem to gain weight just by looking at food? It's a mystery that has baffled many, but the answer lies in the concept of body types and how our unique genetic makeup influences our body composition. Now you might be thinking, body types, what does that mean? Well, let's dive right into it. Picture three friends: Skinny Steve, Muscular Mike, and Big-Bodied Ben. Steve is what we call an ectomorph, Mike a mesomorph, and Ben an endomorph. These are the three main body types, and each comes with its own set of characteristics. Skinny Steve, our ectomorph, has a lean and long structure. He finds it hard to gain weight no matter how much he eats. Then we have Muscular Mike, the mesomorph, blessed with a naturally athletic body and the ability to gain or lose weight relatively easily. And lastly, there's Big-Bodied Ben, the endomorph, who has a larger body structure and tends to gain weight more readily than his friends. It's important to remember that these are just broad categories, and most of us are a blend of two or even all three types. For example, you might have the lean structure of an ectomorph but gain weight like an endomorph. Or perhaps you're a mesomorph when it comes to your upper body, but an ectomorph from the waist down. Understanding your body type is not about labeling or limiting yourself. It's about gaining insight into your natural tendencies, which can guide you in making healthier choices that work for you. As the old saying goes, know thyself. And now you're probably wondering, okay, but what does science have to say about this? Well, fasten your seatbelts because we're about to take a deep dive into the fascinating world of genetics and nutrition. Understanding your body type is the first step towards a healthier you. But what does science have to say about this? According to the World Health Organization, our body type can influence how we respond to diet and exercise. But what's the science behind it? Well, let's dive in. The World Health Organization has been doing extensive research on nutrition and its impact on our body types. They found that our body type can play a significant role in how we metabolize food, how we store fat, and even how we respond to physical activity. Take, for example, the ectomorph body type. Ectomorphs are typically characterized by a slender, lean build. These individuals may struggle with undernutrition as their bodies have a high metabolism rate, meaning they burn calories faster than they can consume them. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the endomorph body type. Endomorphs are usually characterized by a larger, rounder physique and tend to store fat more easily. This makes them more prone to obesity and diseases associated with being overweight, such as heart disease and diabetes. But it's not all about weight. Our body type can also affect how we absorb and utilize nutrients. For instance, some body types may require more protein to build muscle, while others may need more carbohydrates for energy. Our body type can even influence the type of exercise that's most beneficial for us. Some body types may benefit more from cardio, while others may see better results from strength training. So it's clear that our body type can have a profound effect on our health and well-being. But it's important to remember that these are tendencies, not destiny. With the right diet and exercise, we can work with our body type, not against it, to achieve our health goals. So your body type does matter, but how do you exercise and diet accordingly? Now that we know our body type matters, let's talk about how to tailor your exercise and diet to your specific body type. If you're an ectomorph, for instance, you might find that you're naturally slim and have a fast metabolism. This means you can eat more carbohydrates than other body types without gaining weight. However, you might struggle to build muscle. Therefore, your exercise routine should focus on strength training, with exercises like squats, deadlifts, and bench presses. Your diet should be high in protein to support muscle growth, and include healthy fats and complex carbs. On the other hand, if you're a mesomorph, you're naturally muscular and well-proportioned. You can gain and lose weight relatively easily, so your exercise routine should be a balance of strength training and cardio. As for your diet, aim for a balance of proteins, fats, and carbs, with an emphasis on whole foods. Now, if you identify as an endomorph, you're naturally broad and thick. You might find that you gain weight easily, especially if your diet is high in carbohydrates. Therefore, your exercise routine should prioritize cardio to help burn off excess calories. But don't forget about strength training to build muscle. Your diet should be low in carbs, but high in protein and healthy fats. But here's the secret sauce, folks. These are just general guidelines. Your body is unique, and what works for others might not work for you. It's important to experiment and observe how your body responds to different exercises and diets. For instance, maybe you're an ectomorph who thrives on a high-fat diet, or an endomorph who does well with lots of carbs. That's okay. The key is to find what works for you and stick with it. In line with the World Health Organization's guidance, remember to always include a variety of foods in your diet to ensure you're getting a wide range of nutrients. This could mean adding more fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats to your meals. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach here. It's about finding what works best for you. We've talked about exercise, but what about nutrition? After all, you can't out-exercise a bad diet. Nutrition is the cornerstone of our health and well-being. It's the fuel that keeps our bodies running smoothly. It's the building blocks that help us grow, repair, and thrive. But what does it mean to have a balanced diet? According to the World Health Organization, a balanced diet is one that gives your body the nutrients it needs to function correctly. This requires the consumption of a variety of foods, including fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, and whole grains. It also involves limiting the intake of salt, sugar, and unhealthy fats. But why is it so important to achieve this balance? The answer lies in the dangers of undernutrition and overnutrition. Undernutrition, which includes stunting and wasting, is a grave concern, particularly for children under 5 years of age. Overnutrition, on the other hand, is a state of excess intake of nutrients and energy. It can lead to overweight and obesity, conditions that affect billions of adults and millions of children worldwide. Overnutrition can increase the risk of non-communicable diseases like heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. Remember, it's not just about the quantity of food we consume, but also the quality. Consuming a balanced diet ensures we're getting the right mix of nutrients our bodies need. It's like putting the right type of fuel in a car. The World Health Organization has initiatives in place to promote balanced nutrition. These include promoting breastfeeding, reducing salt intake, and eliminating trans fats. These actions are part of a global strategy to combat non-communicable diseases and achieve sustainable development goals. A balanced diet is key, no matter your body type. But how can you ensure you're getting the right nutrients? Eating healthily can be a challenge, especially with all the conflicting information out there. But here are some practical tips to help you navigate the world of nutrition. First up, let's talk about portion control. It's not just about what you eat, but how much you eat. Here's an easy way to remember it. Think of your plate as a clock. From 12 to 3, you've got your proteins, from 3 to 6, your carbohydrates, and from 6 to 9, your vegetables. From 9 back to 12, leave it empty. This is a simple yet effective way to control your portions. Moving on, variety is the spice of life, and this rings true for your diet as well. Eating a wide range of foods ensures you get all the necessary vitamins and minerals. It's like painting a picture. You need all different colors to make it beautiful. So, fill your plate with colors: red tomatoes, green spinach, yellow bell peppers, and so on. Now, on to the not-so-fun part: reducing salt and trans fats. The World Health Organization suggests we should limit our salt intake and eliminate trans fats from our diets. But how? Try using herbs and spices instead of salt to flavor your food. As for trans fats, they're usually found in processed foods, so cooking from scratch is a great way to avoid them. And let's not forget about hydration. Water is essential for our bodies to function correctly, so make sure you're drinking enough throughout the day. Lastly, remember that change takes time. Don't try to overhaul your diet overnight. Small, consistent changes are more effective and sustainable. Eating right is a journey, not a destination. So take it one step at a time. Before we wrap up, here's a bonus tip for sticking to your health goals. You know, my own health journey wasn't always smooth sailing. I had my fair share of ups and downs, and I'm here to tell you that it's okay. It's okay to stumble, to have setbacks, as long as you keep pushing forward. I remember a time when I was struggling with maintaining a balanced diet. I'd eat healthily for a few days, then fall back into old habits. It felt like I was stuck in a cycle I couldn't break out of. But then I started implementing small, achievable goals. Instead of trying to overhaul my whole diet at once, I focused on making one positive change at a time. First, it was adding more vegetables to my meals. Then it was reducing my salt intake. Then it was finding a breakfast that worked for me and my goals to have healthier meals. And gradually, these small changes became my new normal. The World Health Organization emphasizes the role of nutrition in our overall health. They advocate for reducing salt intake and eliminating trans fats, much like the changes I made in my own life. It's not about drastic overnight changes. It's about making small, sustainable shifts in your lifestyle that add up over time. So here's your bonus tip. Start small. Maybe it's drinking an extra glass of water a day or going for a short walk after dinner. Whatever it is, make it achievable and make it consistent. And remember, every step you take is a step towards a healthier you. Now I want to leave you with an encouraging message from Scripture. Proverbs 14:30 tells us, "A heart at peace gives life to the body." So, as you embark on your health journey, remember to keep a peaceful heart. Don't stress over the bumps in the road. They're just part of the journey. Remember, your journey to health is unique to you. So, embrace your body type, nourish it with the right foods, and keep moving. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And as we always say, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.